Have you ever looked at someone speaking fluent English and thought, wow, I could never speak like that? I used to think the same. I thought fluency was for people who were smarter, more outgoing, or born with some magical talent. But then something unexpected happened. I made a promise to myself, just 5 minutes a day. That's it. And what followed changed my life. Hey, I'm Sophie, and today I want to share the true story of how those 5 tiny minutes each day unlocked a fluency I never thought I'd have. If you're shy, stuck, or think you're too busy, this video is for you. Because the truth is, small steps taken consistently can change everything. I used to believe fluency came from long study sessions, huge vocabulary lists, watching hours of English content. But I was wrong. I tried studying for 1 to 2 hours a day, but after a week I was exhausted, burned out, and still afraid to speak. Then I read something that changed everything. A book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. He said, "You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems." That hit me hard because my system was broken. I was trying to run a marathon without learning how to walk. So I reset everything. I said, forget the big goals. I'm just going to do 5 minutes of real English practice a day. And that's when things started to change. Now, 5 minutes doesn't sound like much, right? But here's what I discovered. When you do something every single day, it adds up faster than you think. Here's how I used my 5 minutes. Day 1. Spoke out loud to myself while making tea. Just 2 to 3 sentences. Day 2. Described what I saw outside the window in English. Day 3. Repeated one sentence from a podcast I liked. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't even pretty, but it was consistent. According to language acquisition expert Paul Nation, one of the keys to fluency is deliberate, repeated exposure to high-frequency words. And that's exactly what I was doing, in tiny chunks. I didn't need fancy apps. I didn't need perfect grammar. I just needed 5 minutes and the decision to keep going. What happened next shocked me. After just 2 weeks of doing my 5-minute habit, something clicked. I started thinking in English. I began hearing English words in my mind before speaking in my native language. And here's the science. In a study published by the University of Cambridge, researchers found that even 10 minutes of daily exposure to active language practice can improve speaking fluency and listening comprehension over time, especially when done consistently. It's called language priming. Your brain begins to associate words and ideas in English naturally. But the key? Repetition and ease. I wasn't stressing my brain. I was gently training it, like watering a plant. A little water each day grows more than a flood once a week. I'll never forget the moment I realized my English was changing. I was in a supermarket and saw an American tourist struggling to ask for help. Normally, I'd walk away. But this time, something inside me said, "Go say something. You've been practicing." I walked over and said, "Hi, do you need help finding something?" He smiled and said, "Yes, actually. Thank you." That moment stayed with me forever. Not because I was perfect, but because I showed up. And the reason I had the confidence? Those 5-minute moments. Every small sentence I practiced. Every day I kept the habit alive. They built something inside me. Something bigger than just grammar. They built belief. Here's the best part. You can start right now. No long classes. No expensive courses. Just 5 minutes. Here are a few ways you can begin. Speak out loud while brushing your teeth. Repeat one line from an English song. Record a 30-second voice message in English to a friend. Look in the mirror and describe how you feel. Think in English for one small task. I'm opening the fridge. I'm drinking water. Do this every day and watch what happens in 30 days. Language isn't built in hours. It's built in moments stacked together like bricks, one on top of the other. And one day, you'll look back and say, I don't remember the moment I became fluent, but I remember the day I started. If you've been waiting for the perfect time, this is it. If you've been feeling stuck, remember this. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need 2 hours a day. You just need 5 minutes. I'm living proof. I started scared, silent, and full of doubt. But now I share my story in English with people just like you from around the world. Because I believed in one small thing. Tiny effort, repeated daily, creates massive change. Thank you for spending this hour with me. If this helped you, please like, subscribe, and share this with someone who's just starting their journey. Your voice matters. Your story is powerful. And fluency? It's just 5 minutes away.